Hey everybody, this is Brad Pittman. You're listening to the Smoked Meat Podcast. I had a chance to get up to Gatlinburg recently with a wife and family, and I got to sit down and talk with Eric Dobell, master mentalist and magician in the Iris Theater in downtown Gatlinburg at the Space Needle. We talked wrestling, we talked magic, we talked about a lot of different things. Thanks to Joe's Underground at 8th Broad in Augusta, Georgia for sponsoring this podcast. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Now just sit back and enjoy Smoked Meat. All right, everybody, you're listening to the Smoked Meat Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Pittman. Today I'm here in the beautiful Gatlinburg, Tennessee in the Iris Theater with the star of the Impossibility Show, Eric Dobell.
Hey, everyone. How are you doing? Well, you can't answer me because you're a podcast and you're probably listening to this in the future, I'm presuming.
Somebody did.
Somebody did. You can answer me how you're doing. Maybe the people listening cannot. But I'm sure they're doing good because they're listening to a podcast, which is a beautiful thing. And
not just any of this podcast. So it's like they're in Gatlinburg with us. So that's the great thing.
Yes.
Kind of adjust this a little bit. There we go.
Which is, I think, like 4th or 5th best actually being in Gatlinburg, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Gatlinburg. It's a great place. I haven't been in about a year, and my wife decided to come down, and I said, well, let's see what we got going on. And I saw this show. I'm like, I got to get with these guys.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sending us that email.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. And Gatlinburg's great. I'm very lucky I get to live here. So I get to experience the Great Smoky Mountains every day in all types of different weather. Yeah. And I get a fried dough whenever I want.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos where you're going like your Ripley's and showing some of your favorite things to do.
Oh, yeah.
It must be awesome.
It's fun. Yeah. Yeah, well, I got real lucky, too, because we were doing those, originally, we were doing our YouTube channel, which if you guys want to subscribe, it's Impossibilities Show on YouTube. We were doing those originally with our channel to kind of get subscribers, and now I do that professionally for this business called Mobile Brochure. We do the Mobro Adventure series. So now they just send me off all sorts of things. I did horse riding beginning of the year. I would never go horse riding normally, but I got to go do horse riding for Mobro, and I loved it. It's really cool.
I just had a brainstorm. You need to get the Jonas Brothers up here to go with you. You need Joe Mobro.
Joe Bro Mobro.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get the Jonas Brothers hooked in with what we do, period.
Oh, yeah.
That would be, do you have the hookup with the Jonas Brothers?
Man, oh, man.
They're still a big deal, right?
Yeah, they are. And, you know, it's funny. I always respected them because my kids grew up during the Hannah Montana and all that.
Yeah.
I think I paid for her first 6 cars. But, you know, the Jonas Brothers, through everything, they were always family. You never heard any kind of scandals. You never heard, okay, Nick just got this transvestite hooker knocked up.
Yeah.
It was always, hey, the Jonas Brothers.
You don't hear that with a lot of musicians now, period.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't hear about scandals anymore. It's really crazy how that has changed.
Yeah, I don't think they're not getting into them. I think we just don't really care anymore.
I actually think they're not getting into it like they were. I think you see these people ruin their lives, throw their careers away to drugs and alcohol and all that other stuff. And I think they're just being smarter about it. They saw what happened.
Yeah.
Plus, also a lot of these people are young kids now, and young kids are not doing drugs like they used to. They're not having sex like they used to. All that stuff's been going down.
Well, I can vouch for when I was growing up. Apparently, everybody else was doing drugs and having sex. I was not. So
You seem upset about this.
I was not so much the drugs part, but the other. Really, come on, brother. I was about to say throw me a bone, but nope, never mind. You know, and another thing I loved about them, you know, I'm a comedian. Yeah. You're a magician, mentalist, and you know it's an art form. It is. But I understand my art. You know, you understand yours. I hate when musicians. Not when they want to grow as an artist, but the Jonas Brothers always understood, okay, my fans are outgrowing me, but guess what? There's another crop of 12-year-olds coming up, and they have money and stuff that they don't have yet. And they just kept playing to that, and it was awesome. It wasn't that they were selling out, it's they knew their market.
Reeking of that desperation that happens in so many people that do that kind of music. Yeah. They're just appealing to, they're changing markets. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That's Taylor Swift, though, too, isn't it? Like, she kind of grew with her fans, is what it looks like.
Well, when she first started, she didn't have a lot of dating experience, and if you notice, most of her songs, in my opinion, are about guys that she's broken up with.
Yeah,
so
that's all pop music.
Yeah.
People want to pick on Taylor Swift, but that's all pop music. It's all about relationship trouble.
You see, I'm that old man now, and I don't know when I became this.
Yeah.
When I was young, I grew up in the heyday of metal. Hair metal was my thing.
Yeah.
And now, instead of embracing new music, my iPad and my iPod all have, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, and the rest of everything else is garbage. And I've become that old man. I'm waiting to scream, "Get off my lawn" at somebody.
Well, that happens to everybody. I was reading a study about that a while ago, and they said people stop listening to new music. Like, they just stop listening to new music. I think it was some crazy, it was like 20 or something. Like, really young, you just stop. Although I wonder if that's going away now, too, because of things like the internet, where you can just, shuffle a playlist and discover all sorts of new music.
Oh, no, my kids still listen to crap. My oldest daughter is into K-pop. Have you heard this?
Oh, I love K-pop.
Do you speak?
I lived in Korea for about a year.
Okay, so you probably do speak some Korean.
No, not a lick. Because here's the thing. I was over there because my wife was teaching English, and I was going over there to visit her. Long story. I was bouncing back and forth. So total, I was there for probably about a year. I did take some classes and all that. Like, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have to use it because everybody in Korea, under a certain age, has to learn English.
You're welcome, Eric's wife.
So just about everybody in Korea spoke English, and then my Korean was terrible, so it was easier for them to speak English to me than it was for me to speak Korean. Basically, I never used it. I can't even say hello and thank you.
Well,
I got along just fine without speaking, which I should be embarrassed to admit, but I think it's interesting. I didn't need it.
Would you like me to ruin K-pop for you?
I don't know if you can, because I think I know what you're going to tell me, and I think I already know. You're going to talk about how it works, right?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
What is it?
I grew up with Menudo. I understand how the boy bands work.
Yeah. Well, the K-pop stuff is on a whole other level. That is a farm. I don't think it's too harsh of a word for it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
This really pisses my daughter off when I tell her this.
Yeah.
Because she is heavy into it. She'll print out baseball cards with them and laminate them.
Yeah.
How do you know they're not singing about soup?
If you speak Korean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm presuming because it's pop music, they're singing about the exact same stuff they sing about here.
They could be singing about really good soup and why they broke up with a chick that can make it.
But you know what? I mean, the song's about soup. If it's a good song, I don't know if I care.
There we go.
I'm trying to think of songs about soup. There's got to be something.
I can't even think of a Campbell's jingle. I'm kind of disappointed. 300 pounds, I can't think of a food commercial. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's not about that, so.
But, yeah, I mean, I listen to all that good stuff. And my kids, I try and get them to listen to Kid Rock at least. Or, just Waylon Jennings, anything a little bit older. And I try and tell them, look, this is these guys' inspiration. Well, you inspired them to not sound like that, so I'm not listening. Really? Come on. They're killing me. They're killing me.
I don't know what the inspiration is for K-pop, actually. It's got to be American, or maybe that's just being Western of me, but it's got to be just standard pop music. But it's, I don't know, it draws from a lot of different things, I guess. It's good. It's really good music.
If there were North Korea, the inspiration would be the recording studio has electricity.
Yeah. I have a feeling they don't have good pop music there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Yeah.
You watch Family Guy?
I do.
You see the episode where they went to Korea?
I did not.
There's actually two.
I did not, but I'm fairly aware that I do look a little bit like Peter Griffin.
A little bit. Now that you mention it, yeah, with a beard though.
Yeah, well, Petey can't grow a beard, so.
But yeah, no, there's two episodes where they went to Korea. One was for the Olympics, because Meg was an Olympic athlete, and the other one they went for Quagmire to go link up with his long-lost love. But you gotta watch it. Your daughter loves K-pop. You know a little bit about K-pop. They do a K-pop song, and it's really great. Yeah.
I will be watching this when I get back to the room. So I know
just look it up on YouTube or try to find the whole episode. It's a really good episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments section, what's your favorite K-pop song?
And your favorite K-pop group, because I've been to 2 concerts, by the way.
I've been to one.
I waited outside, but I was
Yeah.
there. And I am
Oh, you
so
go. Oh, I
no,
see.
hell no, I didn't go back in.
Okay.
Yeah, because the concerts were in Atlanta, and
Yeah.
my daughter's, she was 17, 18 years old, and
Yeah.
she's never been in Atlanta alone, so I'm not going to leave her there.
Yeah.
And holy crap,
It's intense.
it is a different world. You know, girls who normally would do their hair all nice had it up in cat ears,
Yeah.
and that's just confusing as hell. It's like, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's another new style too that it just cracks me up. I dig it. I think it's fun, But I'll be walking down the street and somebody will have cat ears and a tail.
No, well, look where we are. You know what is coming back?
You see more. You know where you saw that a lot was in Vegas.
Oh,
I was there last October.
I so want to go to Vegas.
Oh, Vegas is fun.
Oh man,
Yeah. You never been?
I've never been.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you gotta check out Vegas.
Vegas isn't ready for Daddy.
Believe it or not, it's not an expensive trip.
Yeah.
They got planes out of Knoxville that'll take you there for like $100 or something. And it's not too expensive as long as you don't gamble.
Yeah. I'm
That's why it's not too expensive, is because everybody else goes there and gambles.
You're talking to the guy who walked around. I bought a $5 ticket for the games.
Yeah.
And I walked around it. I'd have been here 10 minutes earlier, but I walked around there pissed off because I couldn't find somewhere to spend the two credits that were left on the ticket. That's me. Ski ball's like 6 credits. That's some garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is garbage.
You're talking about this, where we are here.
Well, not so much. It's just I'm cheap. But this is the arcade that we do come to every time out of all of them in Gatlinburg, and that's just not me sucking up because I'm here.
No, it's because it's the best Gatlinburg or the best arcade in the Smokies.
It is an awesome arcade. I love this one.
And right on top of it is the Gatlinburg Space Needle.
And they've got the Impossibility Show. Holy crap.
Yes. I was going to leave that for last. But yes, also Home of Impossibilities, playing nightly at the Gatlinburg Space Needle.
And pizza.
And pizza. And giant pizza. That pizza's bigger than your head.
Oh, man, that's some pretty big pizza.
That's giant pizza. And they make it bigger.
Oh,
they make like a 30-inch pizza or something.
Holy crap, I could take it down.
Yeah. Oh, I could too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem with pizza. I could eat it.
Yeah.
I could eat it until I die.
Do you like to eat hot things?
Like spicy things?
Yeah.
You know what? I used to. They do this thing here every year called the Chili Festival.
Oh, man, I gotta come.
Well, I did a chili eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was very upset at me about this. She told me not to do it, and I'm like, it'll be fine because if it's too hot, I'm just gonna drop out, right? Mm-hmm. So I get up there, and I'm eating the chili, and it's not that spicy. Right? So then I see everybody else, they're just drinking the bowls. They're just picking up and drinking them. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'll try to win this. This isn't so bad. So I start drinking the chili. There's people in the audience, they start chanting Eric. They're going, Eric, Eric. And I'm thinking, are they chanting for me? So then I eat more chili, right? Come to find out they're chanting for the guy next to me, whose name was, I'm not kidding you, Eric Dobell.
Nice.
Right?
You know, we're apparently set alphabetically.
Yeah, well, alphabetically. Also, I think he was my doppelganger.
Nice.
He actually ended up winning the contest. I think he's dead now. Because his were in like the double digits. And we got done with that. I got second or third place. I got the trophy around here somewhere. That night, I was sicker than I had ever been in my entire life. It was not spicy while I was eating it, but it was and this is something gross here. I threw up for 5 hours.
Just 5 hours?
5 hours. I had never done that sick before. She was very upset with me, but I was like, it wasn't spicy. It wasn't spicy. It was spicy afterwards.
See, the thing about chili pepper and chili, all that, is when it goes through your system, it does not lose any potency. So as hot as it comes in,
I think it was worse. I think it was worse. Yeah, because it was like the Carolina Reaper and a ghost pepper, and then like 3 or 4 other peppers. But
been there.
I just didn't. So here's the thing: before that contest, I love spicy food. We went to Thailand, and I just ate myself silly with all the hot food over there. And like I would always put a lot of hot sauce in my food and all that. After that, I like it a little less. It's like I'm a little cautious about it now, and I'm a little more sensitive. Like I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, when I was
really changed my palate that night.
Yeah, when I was a little bit younger, you know, not just, I mean, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we would eat the reapers. We would eat the ghost peppers. I mean, no problem at all. I mean, it's hot, but we could deal with it.
Oh, they're genetically modified now.
Oh, they've got, there's one now called Pepper X.
I haven't heard of this
A guy named Smoking Ed Curry, the guy who developed the Reaper, has developed this one.
Yeah.
Where the Reaper's 2.2 million Scoville units, this
Yeah.
one's 3.5 million.
Jeez.
Have you heard of the Death Nut Challenge? We did it about 2 months ago. I actually live streamed it.
Yeah.
And they give you peanuts, 5 sets of peanuts, and the first one is coated in like ghost pepper powder and some other things. And they get progressively hotter until the 5th one has the Pepper X coated on it, and it's coated thick. It's almost like a candy shell. It's coated so thick. And holy crap! You know, I'm at the age where you say the Death Nut Challenge to me is, you know, I'm trying to have sex for 5 minutes without having a heart attack.
Yeah,
you know, that's it for me. But holy crap, it was hot, and you know, I love doing that kind of stuff. But Thursday night, I had a show in Griffin, Georgia, and for the first time on stage, you know, I decided, okay, I'm gonna eat their hottest wing here because it was at a wing place.
Yeah,
classy, I know, but it was a good place. And, you know, me and my wife and my daughter.
Wings do that and ice in the toilets. That's when you know you're in a classy place.
Hey, you should charge your cover. But we got there early, and I ordered some lemon pepper wings, and I said, give me one of the hottest one you got. He said, well, it's called hot. Okay. Yeah. So I tried it. I'm like, I'm going to have to play this one hard. And I saw the chef. I'm like, dude, have you got anything hotter than this? I got one called the Mach 1. Like, make one. And apparently he forgot. And when I reminded him, I think it made him mad because when he made it, it looked like he just took a ladle of this sauce and put it on the wing. I got about halfway through my set, and I said, all right, here we go. And I ate this wing on stage and finished my set. And it wasn't like Reaper hot, but it was too hot to be telling jokes with.
Yeah.
Oh, it went so great. I'm going to try and start doing that after every show, or during every show.
Eat really hot wings.
Yeah. If nothing else, you get a free wing. I mean, who's not up for that?
That's smart. I got to work chicken wings into my act.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, how long have you been doing mentalism and magic and all?
I have been doing, I got into, it's been about 15 years, approximately. I say 15 years right now because it actually might have been over 15 years now. I got into it late. A lot of magicians, when you talk to them, they got into magic when they were young. They saw a magician when they were like 3 years old, and they fell in love with magic, and they grew up, and now they make it snow from the rafters and all that. I was about 20 or 21. Early 20s, maybe late teens. I was at a mall in Ithaca, New York, and I saw this guy selling magic tricks, a little store, a little kiosk. Which I don't think a lot of people know that word anymore.
That's where all the great magic tricks come from.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of them do.
That is true, yeah. The really good magic shops and stuff are not the places you would think.
Yeah.
It is kind of surprising. But this guy, so he did some tricks for me, and I'd never seen magic before in person. I'd seen it on TV. Magic on TV is not that great.
Yeah.
It is now, actually. It's changed a lot since I was a kid. But before, I just wasn't really my thing. You know, magic's really one of those things you want to see in person. This is the first time I saw it in person. So I bought some tricks, and that was it. You know, and I wanted to be a magician. So shortly after that, I started doing community theater. Kind of got my feet wet with that, and I just started to slowly realize I wanted to be. Well, I always knew I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be a professional wrestler.
I'll just edit something in there.
Remember, folks, 1-800-FLOWERS. Flowers and, what is it, mattresses?
1-800 mattresses.
All the podcasts.
Yes, and we've got a bunch of lawyers in Atlanta.
Yeah, and don't forget to listen to your companion podcast about real-life murders.
That I've committed.
So yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler, a pro wrestler, but, you know, I held on to that dream until I was about 18 or 19, and I realized I'm about 5'5". Wrestlers aren't 5'5". There are some exceptions, like Spike Dudley, I think was short, but that was kind of like his thing.
He was laggy.
Yeah, but you're not. There are no 5'5" wrestlers.
No.
Yeah, not that make it anywhere at least.
Oddly enough, you know, when I was on the fire department years ago, I had this kid that was one of my Explorer Scouts.
Yeah.
And when he grew up, he got a little bit older and became a full-time firefighter, and he decided to go to Atlanta and take wrestling lessons.
Yeah.
And everybody laughed at him, and now he is a referee for WWE.
Wow. What's his name?
D.A. Brewer.
D.A. Brewer?
Yeah, he's on NXT.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's
I found
cool.
out that they've been on the WWE Network, but now they're coming to USA Network. He's going to be on TV.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard that they're going to start pushing that more. Yeah, apparently it's doing really well for them.
Yeah, that's just awesome. I love it when people, find out what they want to do and they go for it, no matter what anybody says, and poof, they get it.
Well, a lot of people laugh at me too.
When
this is if you want to do something, you got to get used to people thinking you suck.
Pretty much. I'm a professional. I used to do magic. I don't do it so much after the stroke anymore. One, because I just haven't done a lot in a long time.
Yeah.
But my magic training came from a very, very different place.
Yeah.
When I was a firefighter, one of my big things was education, teaching kids.
Yeah.
You teach a kid, and if I'm up in front of them in a uniform, I've got them for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out in Georgia they have a class called Alternative Teaching Methods.
Yeah.
And I went to the fire academy and took it, and it's a week of clown school. I'm a certified freaking clown.
Really?
Yes.
That's a dying breed.
Yeah, for good reason. No, not all clowns. My clown.
All the clowns I know are great.
My clown was named Murray.
That's a good clown.
Yeah, he was awesome. There's 2 different kind of clowns that you have: a tramp and a hobo.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hobo gave up on society, a tramp society gave up on them.
Yeah.
With Murray, the choice was kind of mutual. his voice is what it was his downfall. His voice was.
Yeah.
Because it lent itself to cussing so bad. His backstory was he was the appliance king of Parsippany, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Let me see if I can do Murray's voice again. And I'm going to do it the way that I was terrified that I was going to do it in front of 5,000 kids. Hello, you little bastards. That was Murray's voice. And I was so afraid I was going to do that. So I changed my clown name, but I did balloons. I had about 300 different balloons I could do.
So did you think kind of like the character takes over kind of a thing?
Yeah. When I got into clown, or even when I do characters now.
You ever do ventriloquism?
No.
So I've never done it.
I would stay in trouble. I would stay at strip clubs.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Tell me you could not have fun throwing your voice at a strip club.
Oh. Wait, what do those 2 things have in common? No, when I've never done it, but you fool around with puppets and stuff, and there's a part of me that kind of gets taken over by the puppet.
I have done normal
really
puppets.
Weird.
I've done those. But we also did magic. I love doing close-up magic.
Yeah.
Cards and coins were always my thing, and I never used gimmick decks or coins because somebody always wants to hold them.
Yeah.
And I got to where no one would play cards with me because I was really, really good with them.
Yeah.
And I've just got I used to love doing it. And I've just gotten out of practice. I'll pick up a deck of cards today, and my grip's just not the same after the strokes. I don't do it as well. So I don't do it because I don't want to, get myself burned.
Yeah. Well, it might help too, though. Muhammad Ali did magic.
Sweet.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I really made a lot of people's careers disappear.
Muhammad Ali. Well, that's the job of a boxer, I think. It's not written in the contract, but yeah, when your job is to go out there and punch somebody in the face. But no, he did magic. A lot of people think he started doing magic because of the Parkinson's. Well, he actually didn't have Parkinson's. He had something else. I forget what they called it, but it was the same symptoms as Parkinson's, but it was caused by a different thing.
Oh,
right? Maybe somebody out there in podcast land can tell us what that is in the comments.
It was in the comments.
But a lot of people thought he started doing that because of the shaking and all that. But he actually had done magic when he was younger and started his boxing career. And it's just the wildest thing. After he won his, what was the Rumble in the Jungle?
Yeah, that was him and Foreman, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I'm not a boxer. I love Muhammad Ali, but I'm not a boxing historian guy.
That from a movie.
But I didn't see the movie. Is that with Will Smith?
Yeah.
He after the fight, instead of going out drinking and partying like you would expect a boxer to do, he's sitting on a porch, stone cold sober, doing magic tricks for kids. So think about this for a second. How many people do you know have met the heavyweight world champion?
Through magic, no less.
Well, that's the other thing. A lot of people have never seen magic. A lot of people have never met a world boxing champion. These kids are just walking on the street. Muhammad Ali's like, come here. I'm going to show you a rope trick. That's like two birds with one stone. But he used to do magic, and then he would do magic with the shaking too. It would kind of help him with that, kind of keep himself steady.
This is going to be mean, but he tried to have a budding career as an etch-a-sketch artist, and that went nowhere.
Yep. Yeah, the etch-a-sketches just kept disappearing, huh?
Well, I ought to be so ashamed of that.
Well, he would also, because of the Muslim faith, he wasn't allowed to lie. So this would always bother magicians. Is immediately after he would show the trick, he would show everybody how the trick was done.
Nice. I would come back for a show next week, but you know what I'm doing. So,
wow, everybody would watch Muhammad Ali do anything. Yeah, I don't think it ruined his draw.
I don't really look at it as lying as much as just kind of fooling people like my kids.
Yeah.
When they were little, you have kids. Okay, yeah, they're awesome, but when they were young, they kind of wanted me to show them some of the tricks. And I wouldn't. It drove me insane. And I told them, I said, okay, right now you believe in that, and I don't want to steal that from you. And I feel like, on one point, to start them on that road really young, they could grow up and be great.
Yeah.
That's a calling. Any art's a calling.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that part of it, I don't want to steal it from them. I want to keep them small there for as long as they can.
Yeah. And also, magic secrets are not all of the time, but almost all of the time terrible.
Yeah, I did a little drinking the first couple of really big tricks, and I learned them.
Yeah.
Really.
That's all it is.
You can't get in here.
The hardest part of my job is reading magic books. It is such a chore to read to learn new magic because it's not as the psychology behind why tricks work. I could talk about all day. The psychology part of it's really interesting, but the mechanics of how tricks work is not interesting at all.
No.
And it's really hard to it's the hardest part is learning that. And that's why I also tell magicians they think YouTube is ruining magic. That's nobody's looking up tricks on YouTube. Nobody cares except for other magicians because they don't want to buy the trick because they're scumbags. But nobody's looking at regular people. Regular people don't care. They might look up one or two tricks and then they get bored. It's really not that interesting. Watching magic is more interesting.
Yeah. I used to. I forget what company it was, but I would get a lot of my stuff from them.
Yeah.
And I would get bonuses. I get different videos on some other tricks. This is awesome, but how do I do that? And I would buy it and get unlock a new video, and I'm like, well, I'm just a moron. I could have done that $10 ago. And remember years ago, the guy, the masked magician that kept coming out on TV.
Yeah, which magicians still complain about, which has had zero effect on anything. They're still he's ruining magic, and he hasn't been on TV in 20, pushing 30 years now, I think.
Yeah, even when they showed who he was, who the hell is that?
Ruined his career. Ruined his life too because he couldn't get he couldn't book shows after that.
But I liked his reasoning behind it. It was tricks that everybody knew from years.
Well, it was sketchy because he was also I feel that was a really sketchy I gotta have a good reason to do. The reason he did it was money.
Oh, yeah.
He had to have a reason. He had to have a reason that sounded more noble than they're paying me to do this. But also, the secrets he was revealing, a lot of the stuff he was doing, he was showing really bad methods, really bad ways of doing stuff. And some of the methods, if I remember correctly, were actually dangerous. And a lot of the stuff was not really how people were still doing it. So even that was kind of, yeah.
I tell you what I hate. Whenever I watch magic now,
yeah.
I have to, because I still remember a lot. I can't do a lot of it anymore. I have to suspend that disbelief.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'm sitting there watching them okay, this is, there it is. Okay, I see how he's going to do this now.
Yeah.
In order to enjoy it, I got to make my brain go, mystic. I love magic. I love Bigfoot. You name it, I love it. I mean, I'm very open-minded.
Yeah. Were you here for the Bigfoot convention a few weeks ago?
I was not. I just found out.
You just found out about it? It was a big deal in town. I think it was the first year they had it here, so maybe they'll have it back.
Oh, they will.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, there was a Bigfoot convention in Gatlinburg at the convention center just a few weeks ago. And there was Gatlinburg statues all over the place. Or not Gatlinburg, Bigfoot statues. Bigfoot, like, wood carvings and stuff all over town. It was really a hoot.
You know, and I believe in Bigfoot. I do.
Yeah.
I believe that something is out there. We're discovering new species of animals every day.
Yeah, well, especially with the ice melting.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, look, a bear thawed out.
It's pushing it more inland.
But, you know, and I don't want to make anybody that's in the Squatch community mad. Yes, I did air quotes.
Yeah.
For what I'm about to say, but it has got to be said. Come on. If it's there, it's an animal. Period. We've got people out there that believe that they correlate that with UFO sightings. So apparently Bigfoot is dropped off by UFO. How do you know, I would not want to be animal probed anyway, but by a Bigfoot, really? You see those hands? No, I'm good.
Well, they probably use a machine. I think you're thinking of something different.
Well, I don't know, but either way,
that's not medical.
It's terrifying.
Well, I gotta tell you, I lean towards not believing in Bigfoot, but that really famous footage of Bigfoot, really convincing. I remember seeing that in a documentary. This was like actually just a few years ago, and going, "Gosh, that actually does seem pretty good." I still think it's fake. That guy was if it's the same footage I think it is. If I remember correctly, that guy was like a known con man.
Yeah, he was, and
okay.
I've studied this footage a lot. I was exposed to Bigfoot when I was 5.
Okay.
Do another documentary.
It does look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a little unsettling.
You look at what we do on video now, and that's easy to do. Back then, they did not have a clue on how to do a lot of this crap.
I think it was easier to get away with. Like the fairies in the early 1900s. I forget who it was that did that. But you know about the fairies, the fake photographs, yeah. Or the Fox sisters that started spiritualism in America, were making people think that they were just speaking to ghosts. They would crack their toes. you know that story. Boy, did they feel bad in later life too.
Yeah, look at the limping psychics.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing about Bigfoot believers though, is and I'm probably going to get whatever. If you want to comment, go for it. If you make me believe this, God bless you. Have fun. Convert me. There are people that believe that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being that can travel through wormholes, and he can cloak himself and communicate with us telepathically.
Okay, that's a lot to take in.
That's
He's Doctor Who, is what it sounds like. Yeah, they don't harp on his psychic powers much, but he has them.
I never thought of that. That's awesome. But and that's the one that you're pouring a little bit on. You're trying to find your niche way too hard. Listen, go hunt for it.
Yeah,
it'll still be fun. I'm going to do a podcast from a Sasquatch hunt.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be amazing. Another one I'm going to do. I got to find a place that's haunted.
Yeah,
I used to ghost hunt also.
Yeah.
And
there's some ghost hunting around here. They do like ghost stores and stuff.
I want to find a place that's haunted and somebody that's scared to death of going ghost hunting.
Yeah.
And take them.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do.
You want to hear a couple of funny stories?
I do.
So, I don't believe in ghosts. Me and my friends went Halloween, went on a ghost tour thinking that it was like it was on Halloween. So we show up to this house, and they tell us there's a woman upstairs. She's talking to us, and she's walking backwards. She's talking about her life and her death. And I'm thinking, this is going to be cool. There's going to be an actor up there doing the crab walk like in the movies, spin-piece suit. I go up there, they're talking to no one. And they have like their gimmicks and stuff. Come to find out where they're on like an actual ghost hunt, right? Very disappointing for me personally. The other thing. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. So again, I don't believe in ghosts. I think it's really funny that when you talk to people that they think their house is haunted, they talk about it like it's not that big of a deal. Because if ghosts were real, it would change everything. It would change everything we know about science, religion. We would have an afterlife. It changes everything, right? It would be the biggest discovery in the history of mankind. Everything changes. But when people have a ghost in their house, they're like, oh yeah, there's a ghost upstairs. They knock over books sometimes. He moves my keys. No whoop. If he hears something, it's just Charlie, the dead guy. And it cracks me up that it's like your house is haunted. You really think it's haunted, and it's no big whoop, right?
It's early Alzheimer's sitting by
But there's a story that goes with this. So a few years ago, I was staying with some friends, and one of them told me that the house was haunted, right? And I'm kind of like, okay, you know. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I know nobody else is in the house because they kind of told me they were leaving. So I'm the only one in the house right now. I'm just kind of laying in bed, like daydreaming. I hear voices. I hear talking, and I freak out. I'm like, oh my god, there's a ghost in the house. I think there's a real ghost. So I get up, I'm looking around, I'm opening doors, I'm looking in cabinets, I'm looking all over the place. Finally, I make it all the way downstairs, and they just left the Golf Channel on.
Nice. The only thing would have been better is that in Sesame Street.
Sesame
Keeps counting to me.
See, I would have recognized Sesame Street, but I think when you're talking about golf, you're half awake anyways. It sounded like a ghost.
I've never actually seen what they call a full-body apparition. I've never seen that. But,
I would be very excited.
I would shit myself. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
I'd be going.
I would think that in movies and stuff, like if I saw a ghost floating in front of me, I think I'd be really excited.
I would be excited to tell people about it from about 50 miles away when I finally let down. I've got a lot of EVPs, the electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of those that are as clear as a bell.
Yeah.
And those are really creepy. That's why I'm excited to use this recorder next when I go on.
Yeah.
Because with this one, with the headphones on, you can hear what's going in right then. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to hear them real time if they're happening. Mm-hmm. And that'd be pretty cool.
And they're snickering about knocking over books and messing with keys.
Watch his keys go away. And I've got a couple.
That's all they got, I guess.
We can't eat anything, so we get past it.
What do you do as a ghost? It does sound kind of horrible. You ever think too, Ghostbusters? They capture the ghosts, and then they throw them in that machine. A lot of them aren't like bad people; they're just dead, and they treat them like they're criminals.
Imagine if they had a ghost of Sling Blade in there. I don't reckon I'd hurt nobody. Why the hell they told me that box for that little slimy feller? First chance I get, I'm getting out of here. That would be awesome. Just that. Now, if that ghost, I would let her in the house. Oh, yeah. Carl, make me some coffee. Asshole, I can't touch it. That would be beautiful. If Hank Hill died. Ooh. Gonna get some more propane. Oh.
I just finished watching that whole series on Hulu.
I love King of the Hill.
Dale's my spirit animal, I think. Yeah.
I wish I could identify Dale, imitate Dale a lot better than I can. And Boomhauer, we've actually got a paramedic that I've worked with. He's an older guy.
Yeah.
And we get him excited, he sounds just like Boomhauer, and it's amazing on a call.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. We had a.
Hopefully it's not doing the 911 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what made it so great.
Oh.
You're out on the rep, and all of a sudden, man, they gonna spy more, man, they gonna get the IV started, man, like he's auctioning something off. It's like, holy crap, glad I know what I'm doing. We used to have a firefighter one time that, you remember the Viva La Bam show with Bam Margera?
Uh-uh.
Well, he had an uncle who, Don Vito was what they called him.
Yeah.
And when he would get excited, when he wasn't excited, he could barely understand. When he'd get excited, I mean, it was total gibberish.
Yeah.
And we had a firefighter that looked exactly like him, and we could get him cranked up, and he would sound exactly like him, and he had no clue who this guy was.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, because he thought that we called him Don Vito. It's kind of a pet name, hey, yo, just like this guy. You gotta look this up on YouTube. Ron Vito.
Well, if that guy's listening, don't feel bad, because I used to think You're Killing Me Smalls. I used to think that was a Tupac Biggie reference. Up until maybe 6 months ago.
You look pretty gangster. I can understand.
Well, I really like Tupac, and I saw this. It's The Sandlot, right?
Yeah.
I just saw that once, many years ago. So You're Killing Me Smalls. I just thought, oh, that's what I thought. But no, I'm a middle-aged guy that grew up in the '90s. Of course, I like Tupac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
They can't see that.
I thought about it after I did it. I did a chest thump, kiss 2 fingers to heaven. Whatever. Y'all fight me. Picture it. I'm the guy that nods at the drive-thru. Okay?
You know, the podcast, The Ultimate Visual Medium.
Oh yeah.
It's a podcast I keep hearing ads for now. It is a digital comic book for the ears.
I've got a perfect face for podcasting.
Yeah, a face for radio is what they used to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I did radio for a while.
Really?
I loved it. I really
Yeah.
did. Never made a lot of money in it, so I was never really big.
Yeah.
But it was funny, and this is very shallow of me, but oh well. I learned a lot during my time on radio because I learned that voices, what people sound like, is not what they look like.
No.
We were in the 13th floor.
I probably sound a lot more handsome and taller than I do.
If you were any taller, my neck could break looking up at you.
And my long, luxurious hair.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I stepped on it coming in.
Don't get too lost in my steely blue eyes.
It's beautiful. What is that, velvet? But, but we were on the 13th floor of this building downtown, and we were the only ones in there at night. And to get in, you had to go down and let somebody in with your security card. Well, I was single. Let me go first with that, because I'm married now, and I was single then. I didn't even know my wife. And I had this woman that would call me. I worked overnight, so I'm the only one in the station. She would call, talk smack. Okay, cool. One night she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, nothing much, just working." So how about I come by there and hang out with you? Well, okay. Just call me when you get downstairs. She called me downstairs, and I remember I put on Garth Brooks' song, "Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up." I think like 4 minutes and 29 seconds. It gave me enough time to get downstairs, open the door, and come back up. And I opened up.
This is back when you were allowed to pick the songs.
Yeah. I kind of got in trouble for it because we had a playlist, but I did not care.
It's a little radio secret, guys.
Yeah,
you ever wonder why when you change the station, it's the same song playing on all the stations?
Either somebody's downstairs or somebody's got to take a dump, one or the other. I'd have been better off taking a dump. I got downstairs and opened the elevator, and I looked at the door, and that was where my belief in Bigfoot started. This woman could have been a linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles, but she was too big. And, I mean, she was just, like I say, I'm shallow. I was 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big and hideous now, so karma hit hard. And I kind of went to the door because she saw me, and I didn't use, "This is my radio voice. Ha-ha." I said, "Can I help you?" "Yeah, I'm looking for Brad Bailey. He's supposed to let me in." "Who's that?" "He works for the radio station." "That's 4 buildings down." And I got back in the elevator, boom, I'm gone. Well, a few minutes later, she called me and said, "I can't find you." I'm like, "Look, my boss just came in. I can't see anybody right now." And I feel so terrible for that, but it taught me, the voice, and it don't match ever. So, I've got mTOR.
Well, you speak Latin.
Just that. I actually learned that off of, what movie was it I watched the other day? Oh man, I'm so terrible. I watched it, I can't remember the name of it.
I'll edit this part. Was it Endgame?
It was not, I have not watched any of the Avengers movies.
No spoilers.
I'm that guy. Oh man, I'll think of it. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But that is my Latin. And on my tattoo on my leg, it says "Always in the fight." So,
In Latin?
In Latin.
Yeah. What is it in Latin?
Hang on.
He's looking at his leg, guys.
Semper
Semper Unperilli.
Something like that.
Let us know in the comments.
I actually got that tattoo 2 weeks after the strokes. Yep.
See, I always, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'll always, when I'm listening to a podcast for a while, I'll generally Google the hosts just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And yeah, it never matches up. It's really super weird.
Yeah.
But that's just one of those things, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which, like I said, my radio voice and my appearance were not even close.
Yeah. So you had a radio voice?
Yes, this here is my radio voice. You're listening to Brad Bailey here on Big Country 107.7, playing your all-time favorites of today's hot new country, Big Country.
That's good.
That was my radio
A lot
voice.
of tone there.
Oh, yeah. You got skills.
I dated a girl whose mom dated a radio DJ, and I remember the first time I met him, it was unbelievable because it was the first time I met a radio DJ. I've since met many since then, but this guy never not talked like that. He told me he went to radio school. He learned to talk like this all the time. Well, not like that, but like a radio DJ.
Yeah.
And he never turned it off. Day, morning, night, didn't matter how tired he was, he always sounded like he was on the radio.
That would drive me. I'm going to have to try that for like a whole day one day. All right, honey, would you like some cornflakes? Breakfast of champions. Oh, that didn't agree with my stomach. I'm going to have to go drop a great big deuce.
Yeah, it was, you got used to it after a while, but it was weird. But you get really good at it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when it's your bread and butter, but I've always been an EMS since I've been an adult.
Yeah.
I just kind of did that part-time. It was fun.
See, I always talk like a mentalist.
Nice. Now, as a mentalist, I've always been fairly quick-witted, quick-minded. I've never been, my mind's never been quick in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you heckle me right now, I'm quick enough I can hit you from like 12 different points and you'd never see any of them coming.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've never been that quick and that good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what got you into mentalism?
Well, mentalism, I'm actually not super quick on my feet, to be honest with you. Mentalism I really had to work at. I know a lot of people think you must be so good at reading people and talking to people and quick on your feet. I'm none of those things. In fact, when I'm not on stage, I'm a little awkward. I'm a little hard to talk to. I turn a lot of people off when they first meet me. You got to kind of get to know me a little bit before people really start to like me. It's a problem I have. So I really had to work at mentalism. It was not natural for me, but I became interested in it because I got into magic, and then I found out about mentalism shortly after, and it just fascinated me, the idea that I'm not really sure how to explain it, because it's like a lot of the ways magicians and mentalists explain it, I just don't agree with it. I'm a little interested in psychic frauds and how that works, but not interested enough to be like a driving point to it. But I guess there's something about reading somebody's mind, or at least giving the illusion of reading somebody's mind. Like, if you ever had somebody do a trick for you like that, it's really startling, and it's really beautiful, and it's really fun. There's something about it. And also the performance of it really interested me, because I did not grow up watching Copperfield. I did not grow up watching any magic at all. So for me, magic was not people on stage with music and boxes and girls. I thought magic, stand-up comedians. You're on stage by yourself. Not even that, because I didn't even watch The Amazing Jonathan, and he's using he does a lot of pop comedy and stuff. I was thinking like George Carlin and Lenny Bruce. These people, they're on stage with like a stool. That's what I pictured with mentalists. And something about that was very appealing to me too. You're just on stage, it's just doing sort of it's hard to explain, but that's kind of what I pictured in my head, and that's what really attracted me to it. And also reading about it in the books, because again, like the magic, I didn't have anything to connect it to because I hadn't seen a lot of magicians. So I was sort of picturing everything in my head a little different than how you normally see it before. Which I still do, because to be honest with you, I still don't watch a lot of magic. A lot of it doesn't appeal to me, so I don't.
Kind of gives you your own spin on it, your own fresh.
I think it helps. I think you have to be aware of things, and you have to know the classics and stuff like that. But I see no reason. Like, I know people that will watch like everything to do with magic, no matter how good or bad it is, and I cannot do that. I just can't.
It gets a little aggravating sometimes because the really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, comedians. Some of my jokes, I've got my go-to material sometimes.
Yeah.
I ate the pepper the other night. Let's go do a new material after that. I did something I've done 1,000 times, but I knew I wouldn't have to concentrate on it. If this went
Oh, yeah.
too hot, I can concentrate on that wing.
We all have stuff like that.
And a lot of comics and musicians will get so comfortable with that material that's you see them 5 years from now, and hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Does anybody like fire extinguishers? It's the same thing all over and over.
Well, you got to keep. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
That's good, I think. But that's going away too because of the internet.
A lot of them lean on that, but that's the bad part.
I guess it depends. Yeah, I guess it depends. It's like Matt King. You know Matt King?
Yeah.
He's been doing that act more or less for like 20 or 30 years, and it's the best show of anything I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
Just not this like best magic show. One of the best shows in general. But it's because he does it every night, and that's how Old Bravo used to work. These people do these amazing acts, but they would also do like the same 15 minutes for like 30 years, and they got really, really good at it. That kind of specialization is gone now because you have to constantly come up with new stuff.
People are constantly fed.
Yeah, well, you can look it up online. One person records their act, you got to come up with new stuff. And I think that's kind of a bad thing because you're not going to get people that are great at something because they can't, because I guess I have to be looking for new material. But you also have to change with the times. I mean, like I always joke with my friends too. You can tell when a magician became interested in magic by the music they use. Because they will use, if they grew up watching David Copperfield, if they're playing like Ace of Base behind their magic, they don't change their music even. And like sometimes you do have to update that stuff. Like David Copperfield's not doing the same. He might be doing the same tricks he did. Well, he's not. He's doing some of the same stuff he did like 20 years ago, but he's not using the same music. You do have to change stuff. And kind of update it for the times.
Here comes that old magician. Def Leppard was my go-to music.
Oh yeah. There's people that do that too. They play like heavy metal magic. Have you seen that?
I have not.
There's two guys that are doing it right now. They do like hair metal they do magic with hair metal. Yeah, I saw one of them in Vegas. It was good. Yeah, you gotta look it up. It's really interesting. Yeah.
I saw a magician not long ago, and his name is escaping me. But he's a young guy, and he doesn't speak through the whole thing. He uses a lot of props.
Yeah.
He's a comedy magician. And he hums through this whole thing.
Humps.
You may have seen the video.
I already like it.
I can't think of his name, but on the front of his box it says knick-knack for wick-wack, or tic-tac for wick-wack. Have you ever seen this video?
No, I don't think so.
I'll have to find it for you. I can't think of his name, but he gets the story across so great. I'm sitting there watching him do it really good magic, and I'm just cackling because he's so funny to do it. And I like stuff like that that's different.
Yeah.
Somebody, while he looks like he's messing up, he's just, boom.
Yeah.
He's messing this trick up, and all of a sudden over here, boom, something brilliant.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love originality, not even so much originality, but being able to make something new.
Yeah.
Like with comedy even, there are just so many different things you can tell jokes about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably not the first guy that ever said eat a chicken.
Yeah.
There's a.
But have you eaten it on an airplane?
I need sponsors, y'all. Come on, Delta. I'm cheap. There's a show on YouTube called The Hot Ones. Have you ever watched it?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
You need to watch it. Where Sean Evans actually learned that tingling, escalating hot sauces.
Yeah.
Ask celebrities questions. That was kind of my inspiration for what I did, with the wing. And, it wasn't copying. It was getting inspiration from him. Because I'm not going to sit and say, okay, we're doing the podcast. I got 10 wings for you. And
I wouldn't mind doing that with donuts. Woo. Not spicy, just donuts.
This is not just sprinkle. But, yeah, I mean, there's, and I'm sure it's like that magic, there's so many different just so many premises that you can do.
Yeah.
But you can make them more than, I used to like Jay Sankey's stuff a lot. Because
He's great. Yeah.
He would take tricks that people had seen 1,000 times and just put his own little spin on them.
Yeah. Just turn them on their head.
Yeah. I used to love doing this stuff.
You've seen his YouTube videos, right?
It's been a while.
It's funny, everything, so I used to buy all of his stuff when it came out, and he released all of it online for free. His YouTube channel. If you're listening to this and you're interested in magic, I have people that always ask about YouTube videos. Go to Jay Sankey's channel. Everything's like varying degrees of difficulty, of course. But a lot of it's pretty easy to do, and it's all free. And it's all stuff that I used to do. That was his LML publishing set was my restaurant actually for a lot of years. And now it's all on his YouTube channel.
He's like the miniature Lincoln. Yeah, I can't remember what he called it.
Ninja rings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did that, but they're pretty cool. I like that move they do with like spin. This is probably so boring, everybody.
Lincoln mints. I did that.
Mints?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lincoln rings with lifesavers.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, with lifesavers. I'm thinking of Tic Tacs. Okay.
Yeah. It is awesome.
Yeah.
I used to love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Have you been to Make It Magic?
I have not. I need to go there.
Yeah, that's the place you gotta hit up when you come to Gatlinburg. It's actually where we go for a lot of our magic supplies. They do wood carvings and other little knick-knacky kind of things too. But they have a really good magic shop there. Yeah. And the owner there, she knows quite a bit about magic. She used to live in Jersey, I think. She was a professional magician for a lot of years.
Now, where is that one at? It's not here on the strip, is it?
No, I wish it was. That's in the Arts and Crafts District, I think they call it.
Okay.
The Arts and Crafts in Gatlinburg place.
Okay. I'm going to find this because I want to.
Yeah, just type Make It Magic into the MapQuest or whatever it is people use now.
I went to one years ago and it was out in the middle of nowhere and he had so much great stuff there.
Yeah.
I can't find it anymore.
I used to go to one in Ohio. Euclid, I think it was. It's closed now. It was an old guy there. He actually is the guy that really got me into mentalism. I wish I could remember the name of the place, but it was a really good magic shop that sold costumes. Because all the good magic shops have something else there. It's like, we also do flower delivery. Because magicians are not going to keep a business. There's just not enough of them.
No. It's like we got the ones here actually in town the kids' magic, which is cool.
Yeah. They probably do really well because they're catering to non-magicians.
He's making a lot more money on magic than I am, so I can't complain.
Yeah. Those are good magic shops, too. If you're looking for real good tricks, I would go Make It Magic. That's a good place to go to.
I'm going to go do this evening in the morning, Bill.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm getting hungry. We'll have to edit all that part out. Yep.
I'm sorry. One of my favorite imitations, I was about to do it and not give credit, but this one's straight up stolen. Is Danny Carvey did Jimmy Stewart Proposition and a Hooker years ago, and it's one of my favorites. How much to go around the world? That's one of my favorite imitations. Danny Carvey does it so much better.
Yeah, he is kind of an unsung hero, isn't he?
Yeah.
You don't hear much from him anymore, but...
Yeah. I actually saw him on that Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee not long ago.
Yeah, that's the Seinfeld thing, right? Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Jerry Seinfeld's getting paid Lord knows how much to do this, and ride around, hang with his buddies, drink a little coffee, borrow these great cars.
Yeah.
And I'm bored.
Well, you just need to have Seinfeld. You have to have a sitcom.
I remember watching him years and years ago before the show even started. One of the Young Comedian specials.
Yeah.
And that was so cool.
You saw him in person?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay.
I wish. I got to see a lot of cool comedians. Years ago when I started, there was a little place in Augusta called the Comedy House Theater. Mm-hmm. And to open a lot of the shows, they would have open mics.
Yeah.
And I was a regular open micer there. I got open for Carrot Top before he started looking like Kathy Griffin with muscles.
Yeah, a little bit.
James so cool. And
I did get to meet Louis Black one time.
That was the angriest man on the face of the earth.
I love Louis Black.
Oh, yeah, I love him. Man.
Well, you meet him in person, he was really quiet. And he's so nice. He's so nice. Oh, my goodness. Because I was there for one of his book signings. This is when I lived in Ohio. I just saw in the newspaper he was doing a book signing. And, like, there was no advertisement for it, so I bought the book and went and saw him. He just kind of hung out, told jokes. It was like an hour's talk.
Yeah.
He was super cool, super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. You never know who you're coming across when you're doing anything like that.
No, you have no idea.
I mean, for all I know, you're next Copperfield.
Oh, thank you.
I'm the next Richard Pryor. Who knows?
You're going to blow yourself up at a gas station?
In a gas station. That was a thing of lighter fluid.
Was it a gas station?
Freebase fighter.
Oh, okay.
According to the movie JoJo Dance Your Life was Calling.
I misunderstood that story.
And it may have been a gas station, I don't know.
I thought that played out different.
But he overcame. He's awesome.
He did. Carrot Top used to come, some from a little town called Elmira, New York. And my friend there owns a gym. And Carrot Top used to go, he might still, he came to Elmira every year. And he would always go to his gym. And he'd like work out. He said it was the craziest thing.
Sitting there on the treadmill or something and look over and
Carrot Top's there.
Carrot Top's big buff ass look at you and go, how you doing?
This is it too, like even back then, this was like over 10 years ago, longer, and he was throwing like big time weight around.
Yeah.
He said he would get on the machine with the, I forget what they call it, but you do the calf thing.
Yeah.
And he said his calves were just like bursting out of his skin.
Nice.
And then he comes on stage, it's like, he doesn't look like he's supposed to, speaking of appearances.
That's my druid. Really bad.
He's funny. He's a really funny
Carrot Top,
guy.
if you're listening, promote the podcast. Give me a boatload of listeners. I'll let you on, and I'll leave video, and you can just knock the piss out of me.
Right. If you want Twitter beef, that's what we should do. Are you on Twitter?
I couldn't get into Twitter much. I just got Instagram.
Yeah. Twitter's a cesspool. But we should get into Twitter beef. That'll get us some more, because it's a cesspool. That'll get us more followers.
I hate bald people.
And we'll see. We'll also know how much of the podcast they listen to if they hear us talking about faking Twitter beef on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. And if nobody listens, we'll just start seeing all these tweets like, I don't know what these two guys did to each other, but man, they're going to kill each other.
Exactly. They'll be egging us on and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Or it'll be like, you liar.
Oh, man. Well, I know you've got a show to start getting ready for here in a little bit.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you mind if I say a little bit about the show?
Tell anything about it. Plug it,
yeah.
Man. Do you do?
So, the show is called Impossibilities. It's a comedy, magic, and mind-reading show. We're located at the Gatlinburg Space Needle in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. If you haven't been to Gatlinburg, we're actually right in the middle of town. The Gatlinburg Space Needle is a 400-foot observation deck. It's one of the iconic fixtures in town. Any picture you've seen of Gatlinburg, of the skyline, has the Space Needle in it. That's where we're located, right in the theater. It's called the Iris Theater. It's a family show, despite this podcast. It is I tried really hard, but it's a family-friendly show, comedy, magic, and mind reading, 100% interactive. Very good chance you'll actually get to be part of the show when you arrive. And if you want to learn more, you can go to iristheater.com. And also follow us on Facebook at Impossibilities Show. Just type Impossibilities Magic Show into the search bar. We'll pop up. Hit the like button. Send us a message. Let us know where you found out about us. And also YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Impossibilities Magic Show on YouTube. We do magic videos, also videos about living here in the Smokies. And we're on Twitter, of course, too. Best Magic Show. We were just talking about that. Follow us on Twitter. Interact. Maybe not make it such a cesspool. On Instagram, Impossibilities_show. And I think that's all I need to say about that. Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. You got any questions or comments about the show, just shoot us a message.
Yeah. But I've had a great time.
Or I tell you what, this will be fun. If you got a good, I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was a kid. If you got a good pro wrestling name for me, maybe a good finisher name, let me know. That'd be a fun contest.
Oh yeah, you can do the middle munch.
No, my wife were talking the other day about funny people doing yoga, and we thought about Macho Man doing yoga.
Ooh, yoga!
Diamond Dallas Page has DDP yoga.
Yes. He's staying in line. There's a man better than I will ever be.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just going to throw this out there for any of the wrestling fans out there. Diamond Cutter, probably the greatest move in wrestling ever, right?
I can dig it.
I mean, it's either that or the Stone Cold Stunner, which is very close to the same thing.
See, I'm going old school with a heart punch.
Heart punch is really
Heart
good.
punch is gangster.
Heart punch doesn't get enough credit. I love any finishing move where it's just hitting the guy really hard.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, wrestling's really hard for me to watch now, but that's one of the things, it's like everything's so complicated. They're doing like all these weird holds and flips and stuff. Just hit the guy.
Just reach over, punch him in the chest.
Punch him in the heart. Yeah, it's like, what's the move? Oh, I punch him in the chest. What does that do? Stops his heart.
I'm not sure. I think my grandma did that a time or two on us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or the throat punch. There was this guy years ago, I think his name was Umaga, that he had his thumb taped up.
Thumb, yeah.
And he would just punch a guy in the neck with his thumb. And you see it and you're like, that's silly. And then the more you thought about it, the more you're like, that's not silly.
Yeah, on the melody in your neck, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Don't hit me.
It would really hurt somebody. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Randy Orton for a while was just kicking people in the head. That was kind of boss. And if you don't watch wrestling, you're going to think this talk is crazy. And you're right.
Google it, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
He was... Yeah, I love wrestling. That's the Hulk Hogan leg drop. New wrestling fans are like, that's silly. It's like his leg must weigh like 60 pounds. You're silly.
Oh, man. Also, speaking of wrestling, next month in Hampton, Georgia, go to Tall Tales Pod on Facebook. Look up Tall Tales Podcast.
Yeah, I want to listen to this.
Yeah, they are going to have a comedy show there, and the headliner, telling Tales from the Road, is going to be none other than old school Georgia championship wrestler, Tommy Wildfire Rich. Oh yeah, I'm going to be there. Check out Tall Tales Pod. They'll give you all the details. It's going to be great. Well, that's our time for today. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hit the subscribe button and enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Before you go.
Yeah.
For the audience watching, let's do our special handshake.
That'll work.